3rd February 2022. Greetings from Rwanda's capital Kigali. Here is what makes our top stories tonight. President Paul Kagame on Thursday met with President Uhuru Kenyatta in Nairobi, Kenya, where they discussed bilateral and regional affairs.
The city of Kigali, in collaboration with Rwanda Biomedical Center, has launched a campaign to bring the COVID-19 vaccine closer to the people through mobile clinics.
After various disasters that disrupted agricultural and livestock activities in various parts of the country, the Rwanda government, through its National Agricultural Insurance Scheme program, compensated about 82 million Rwandan francs to farmers.
And on the international scene,
a very good evening to you and welcome to Rwanda Television News. My name is Sam Kalisa.
And my name is Martina Abera.
Hi, Martina.
I'm very good. How are you doing tonight?
Very great.
Okay.
And of course, to kick it off this Thursday, let us inform you that President Paul Kagame met with President Uhuru Kenyatta in Nairobi, Kenya, where they discussed bilateral and regional affairs. We do have the details. President Paul Kagame on Thursday held a one-day working visit to Nairobi, Kenya. The head of state was received by his Kenyan counterpart, where the two leaders discussed issues emerging in the region and on the African continent. According to the Kenyan State House, the two heads of state committed to working together to find a lasting solution to the conflicts in Ethiopia, Sudan, South Sudan, and Ethiopia, and that Rwanda and Kenya will continue to take the lead in finding solutions and mediation in those countries. President Kagame noted that the talks with his Kenyan counterpart were important and productive, even though they lasted for only 1 hour. He added, I quote, "A lot was covered." Regarding trade, President Uhuru Kenyatta reiterated that Rwanda is strategically located in the region, making it a key partner for Kenya in terms of trade, especially a reliable link between Kenya and the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo and the broader Great Lakes region market. President Uhuru Kenyatta also called on Rwanda to increase its imports from Kenya to make Mombasa port services more efficient and productive to facilitate the flow of goods. President Kenyatta also applauded the recent reopening of the Gatuna border with Uganda. The move, according to the statement, will ease the movement of goods and people between the two neighboring countries, benefiting the citizens of the region.
This Thursday, the President of the Senate received the ambassadors of Egypt and Pakistan to Rwanda, and the Speaker of the Chamber of Deputies received the UN women representatives in Rwanda. Innocent Mugabo with more.
Ms. Fatulo stresses that during her 6 years in Rwanda, representing the United Nations Entity for Gender Equality and the Empowerment of Women, also known as UN Women, Rwanda's efforts to uplift women have been tremendous.
And we discussed the achievements that we've been able to make together here in Rwanda in terms of advancing gender equality and women's empowerment. So a lot has been done on the side of leadership, but we still have some gaps when it comes to economic empowerment, when it comes to gender-based violence, which has unfortunately increased during the COVID-19 pandemic. We also see gaps when it comes to the social norms and gender stereotypes, some of which are still holding women back.
The Speaker of the Chamber of Deputies, Donatille Mukabalisa, commended the way UN Women has helped women, especially those in Parliament.
This is a great opportunity to commend our cooperation with United Nations Women, in particular the Rwanda Women Parliamentary Forum.
The President of the Senate, Dr. Iyamuremye Augustine, received the ambassador of Egypt and Pakistan to Rwanda. Both note that their talks with the President of the Senate focused on their relations with Rwanda, both in diplomacy and trade.
It was an opportunity, great opportunity for me to discuss various aspects for the cooperation and to deliver that Egypt really is respecting and inspired by everything Rwanda is making, because of course, although we have excellent political relations, but the commercial relation is not that great. And I was honored when I met His Excellency President Kagame, and I was speaking about the amount of trade between the two countries. His Excellency encouraged me, and then he said, no, this is very little, so try during your stay in Rwanda, hopefully, inshallah. So one of my main aspects here to encourage more investors, Egyptian investors, to come to Rwanda, and some of them were interested to import tea and coffee from Rwanda.
The President of the Senate commended the relationship between Rwanda and Egypt, while Pakistan and Rwanda are looking at how the two parliaments can work together. We have a long-term and strong relationship. Egypt is a rich country in North Africa, as you all know. We are connected by River Nile. That is why Rwanda is regarded as a source of the Nile. There are also many other projects we jointly work on, be it in education, trade, and security. Rwanda, Pakistan, and Egypt cooperate in various fields, including trade, education, and security. 8 years ago, Rwanda cooperated with Egypt in trade through a program called Smart Egypt. Egypt's projects in Rwanda are worth $29 million. Innocent Mugabo, RTV News.
Thank you, Innocent, for the report. And moving ahead, the city of Kigali, in collaboration with the Rwanda Biomedical Center, has launched a campaign to bring the COVID-19 vaccine closer to people through mobile clinics. Residents are happy that they are going to be able to get vaccinated without having to travel long distances. We have the report.
With the help of mobile clinic vehicles from Sonatube to Nyabugogo via Randex, Kanogo and Poilu, the population was given the first COVID-19 vaccine dose, the second and the booster shot, which most had not taken yet. Residents are happy that the service has been brought closer to them on the streets.
I was coming from my place to work. I came here because I heard on the radio that they were giving out vaccines out of a mobile vehicle in order to ease the process for the population. This enticed me to come, and I'm very happy with the service.
We used to go far, but now they brought it closer to our workplaces. It is not difficult anymore. Now we are able to save the money we would have used for transport. I now encourage others to get it as well.
This method is good and very helpful. It prevents us from stopping our work. Where you have reached, you get vaccinated, which is very convenient.
Normally, the vaccine is given at designated sites such as public places and clinics. Some point out that it would take for them to make long journeys, and sometimes they would find the areas in which these services are given are closed. Local authorities in the city of Kigali say that vaccinating people with the use of mobile clinic vehicles will reduce the number of people who have not been fully vaccinated because the services have been brought closer to them.
In the city of Kigali, the people who have day-to-day activities and jobs that they survive on, when such a campaign is brought closer to them, it helps them to save their time. It also helps them to not have to go to their vaccination sites and leave their places of work. It is easier for them now that we came closer to them.
Dr. Tuishime Albert, head of Diseases Prevention and Control Department at Rwanda Biomedical Center, said that the campaign to bring COVID-19 vaccination services to the people through mobile clinic vehicles will continue in different parts of Kigali until all the people have access to the service. Statistics from the Ministry of Health show that from the inception of the COVID-19 vaccination campaign in Rwanda to February 2nd, 2022, more than 8 million people have received the first dose of the vaccine, more than 7,100,000 have received 2 doses, and more than 1 million people have received the booster shot. Now on to other matters. After various disasters that disrupted agricultural and livestock activities in various parts of the country, the Rwandan government, through its National Agriculture Insurance Scheme program, compensated about 82 million francs to farmers in order to help them recover from the disasters of the agricultural season A of 2022. Olive Nhete with more.
Jacqueline Ganebasingwa, a farmer in Ngiri sector in Kayonza district, is one of the farmers that received the compensation of 160,000 Rwandan francs of his damaged crops in the first season of 2021. She said that the compensation helped her to recover from the disasters and continue the agricultural activities. Since I took the insurance, I faced disasters, and my 2 fields of rice were filled with water. The cooperative visited us. After seeing the problem, they compensated us. Farmers that received the compensation in the first agricultural season of 2022 this Thursday say that this will help them to overcome the disasters and also encourage other farmers to take this insurance.
The
Before, farmers could not have the facility to do again their agriculture activities due to their losses. It would require to ask help from Minagri, but now that we have the insurance of our crops, we have been refunded more than 17 million Rwandan francs. This is a good thing, and I advise other farmers to also take the insurance for their crops.
Various insurance companies involved in the program noted that it is not only about refunding the farmers, but also help them prevent the cause. The managing director of Bank of Kigali Insurance, Alex Bahizi, noted that the donations of different materials will help farmers in their agricultural activities.
We had identified causes of loss as pests and diseases, so we are giving out 15 pump machines that farmers use in spraying pests and diseases in their crops, especially rice-growing cooperatives. But in addition to that, we are donating 10 computers to more than 6 cooperatives in Eastern Province. This is the purpose intended to enhance their efficiency in their operations, enhance their access to finance, enhance their applications to loans and the access to different services from banks.
The governor of the Eastern Province, Emmanuel Gassana, noted that they will keep encouraging and mobilizing farmers about the National Agricultural Insurance Program scheme.
This has been the case where the farmers have been losing some of their produce because of the disasters and emergency cases that have been happening. But with the intervention of the insurance companies, we feel that farmers are going to be compensated time to time. And not only that, even accompanying them during the process by supporting them with skills and knowledge, but also giving them some other facilities. Like now they are giving them the sprayers and the rest of that. It's going to increase the productivity throughout the value chain. As for the animal husbandry, last time we witnessed a disaster where so many cows died, and during the process we are calling awake to the farmers and reaching out to mobilize them to reach out to the insurance companies for the insurance cover. Some of them who have done that have been compensated. So it's a good move towards economic growth since we are compensated during the process of the productivity that we intend to have.
The Ministry of Agriculture has noted that since this insurance scheme program has started in April 2019, farmers who have this insurance received compensation of 672 million Rwandan francs, while those who do livestock received 470 million Rwandan francs. Since this program started, a loan of more than 2 million has been given to farmers where crop insurance is taken as collateral in the bank. Olive Nete, RTV News.
And moving ahead, Equity Bank has rewarded customers who have participated in its technology-based services, including using credit card, using online payment services when paying for goods or services. These prices include various equipment and money. Equity Bank's promotion competition has been there for 6 months now, and it is to last another 6 months before it ends. So far, 12 people have received prizes, and this is the third phase. One of the winners of the prizes, Ngotanyi Frank, says that these online services have helped him a lot in his daily work.
I feel happy. I often use the card, and there are times when I use it online as well. Among the benefits of using these online services is that it saves you time. To those who do not use credit cards, I would say it is the easiest way, in my opinion.
And digital channels at Equity Bank Rwanda says since the beginning of the promotion competition, the number of participants in the use of technology has increased to 90% of the number of their customers who participated.
Ikarita ni imwe mu channels dufite. Udafite ikarita yawe wanakoresha telephone.
The card is one of the channels. We have many channels whereby if one goes out without their card, they can use their phone. Through the faster method, in a way, our customers have more options of paying for goods, and we have many other channels where one can withdraw money. Getting a card is very easy. All you have to do is open up an account in Equity Bank, and so far we are the only ones with an online method of opening up an account without having to go to the bank. You click *555# and then follow the instructions.
ugakurikira process ugahita ufungura konti yawe utarigeze uza muri branch.
Parents that have autistic children in Rwanda have requested the government to provide health and education facilities for such children. Gisle Mugwaneza with a report.
Parents with autistic children have said that their children are born like others, but as they grow, they develop serious disorders that impair their ability to communicate and interact normally. My child reached at 3 years old without speaking. I thought it is just delaying, but when I asked doctors, they told me that he has autism symptoms. Even now, he's about 5, but he doesn't speak. Autistic children are very stubborn and picky. They don't sleep easily. They do not interact with people, and you cannot leave them with any person. Other children reach 4 months while they have started sitting, but an autistic child is not able to do so. He's not able to walk at 1 year like other children. They require regular cleanliness. Gaudence Mukansine, a certified autism specialist at HVP Gatagara Gikondo, says half of 80 children at the school are autistic and notes that condition that is related to poor brain development presents serious challenges for such kids.
With the autism has a problem in communication skills, in social interaction, and have some stereotype movement. The child who is at the school, who get help from specialized teachers, get improvement, some improvement. Can get communication, can communicate somehow, can in the future get social interaction, can realize that in the environment there are other peoples, there are other people, there are things, there are trees, cars, and that child can differentiate dangers, some dangers in the environment. Also, the child at the school can get positive behavior.
A proper education helps autistic children to gain the sort of knowledge and can help them to one day become self-reliant. The problem is that getting the specialized education they need is not cheap. I took him to normal school and it didn't work. I changed and took him to another school in Chimirongo, but it stopped due to financial problems. Their academic year is divided into 4 terms. One term is 750,000, which is a lot in 1 year to a local resident while having other children to take care of and another life to live. We would like to request the government to consider that problem and provide education for them. The executive director of the organization Autism Rwanda, Rosine Kamagaju, has confirmed that high school fees are among the most common reasons why many autistic children drop out of school. A child that has no way to go to school stays home, which saddens them because they see others going to school. Even parents go to work worried because they leave their children vulnerable at home. The Ministry of Education has noted that there are no public schools to offer these special services. However, there are plans to solve the problem.
In the plans we have, we are trying to provide that capacity to public schools. We are putting more effort, and there is equipment we are still working to obtain, as well as training teachers. Before that, we are looking at how we can work with private schools to see how we can help autistic children whose parents have very limited financial means. The sustainable solution is to get public schools with that ability. I cannot tell you that it will happen today or tomorrow, but we are also concerned about that.
Parents that have children with mental disorders in general have continued to ask the Ministry of Education to speed up efforts to help them to get the sort of the academic skills they will desperately need later in life. Ghislaine Mugwaneza, RTV News.
Thank you, Ghislaine, for the report. And moving ahead, some of the people who pursued various courses in universities and higher learning institutions say that the knowledge gained in those courses is not being exploited as it should be due to the fact that employers choose to employ those that have other skills related to the profession. They also emphasized that this may lead to failure in accomplishing duties assigned due to lack of proper qualifications in those fields. Olive Nete has more on this.
For nearly the past 10 years, some students in various universities graduated in quantity surveying, a course which deals with contract management, cost evaluation, and cost management. According to them, they say they are meeting challenges at the job market due to the fact that nearly all job opportunities are given to people within the construction field, but not them who specialized in the area, which sometimes leads to failure in managing construction costs.
We have professionals that have been trained from the University of Rwanda starting 2010, we still see job offers that should be going to quantity surveyors, going to people like engineers, and we see clients calling on, engineers, architects, other people to really do work that should be going to quantity surveyors.
The chairman of Rwanda Human Resources Management Organization, Stephen Karangwa, advises and encourages those people who specialized in those courses to form and join associations related to their field to enhance their skills and also share opportunities that are currently on the market.
Now, one of the challenges that happens, the people that are currently, that have been doing that work, they are not specifically quantity surveyors. And so, as the architect design and put the designs to the quantity surveyors or to the civil engineers, we see a challenge where the specification in the bids of quantities are not to that accurate. And so what happens? The construction kicks off. You start construction. Along the way, you find that what the client anticipated and what is in the bids of quantities, they are totally different things.
The Vice-Chancellor of Kigali Independent University, Dr. Claude Rusibana, encourages universities to put more efforts in specializations because it is far more beneficial and gives value to the work being done.
Quality comes from specialization. When you have somebody with a specialization, you have a confidence of the output. But when somebody is a generalist, he will tell you he knows this, he knows that, but at the end of the time, you discover that he knows nothing. He is not an expert in any domain. So I'm now saying that this specialization in universities should even start before a student takes a decision to enroll in a university. Otherwise, the student will complete his degree without having more of competencies and more of professionalism.
According to the Auditor General's Office report of the year 2021, delayed and abandoned projects of the annual budget of 2019-2020 by entrepreneurs were worth 216 billion Rwandan francs due to delays in project completion. Olive Nete, RTV News.
Thank you, Olive, for that report. Moving on. Rwandan women and girls say they are proud of the opportunities that they have been given in various fields and that this is a great opportunity to be outstanding locally and internationally. NGOs say, however, that despite progress being made, there is still a lot more to be done when it comes to protecting women's rights. Jen Mutoni has the report.
Institutions and organizations related to women's development in Rwanda held a meeting that took place in Kigali to review Rwanda's progress in implementing international agreements on the protection of women and girls in times of crisis. They also discussed on the role of women and girls in the development of the country and the fight against violence towards them. Generally, women and girls in Rwanda say that there has been a significant achievement in terms of implementing the agreement. We live peacefully, and there is little to no violence. And when one's rights are violated, they make sure that the person who has committed the crime is arrested and the case is followed up. Nowadays, no one can dare beat or insult a woman. It's a great achievement, and we are grateful. The chairperson of Transparency International Rwanda, Ingabire Marie Makili, says that although significant steps have been taken in terms of protecting women's rights, there is still more to be done or re-examined in terms of ensuring the safety of women.
hari ibintu byinshi batareba kandi bihungabanya uburenganzira bw'umugore n'umwana. Ndaguha nk'urugero rw'itegeko twari.
There are many things that are still being overlooked, yet these things violate the rights of women and children. I'll give an example of a law that we had before, and it got removed in circumstances that are not clear. The law stated that anyone who fails to comply with a court order should be punished, which made sense because when a decision is made, it becomes a law, which means if a person doesn't comply, they should be ready to face the consequences. This law was removed from civil cases, which means that the government can no longer intervene in such cases. This has caused a problem whereby couples that have divorced or have children but don't live together, when men have been told to give child support, they end up not doing so, and no one holds them accountable.
Babyaranye batabana, urukiko rubategeka gutanga indezo bakayimana kandi ntawe ubakurikirana.
Mukeshimana Therese, the vice chairperson of Benimwe organization, says that in pursuant to the United Nations Security Council Resolution 1325 to integrate women and their perspectives in peace and security in various sectors, Rwanda has made every effort to ensure that women live in peace and tranquility so that they can thrive. This agreement has been helpful in Africa and worldwide, but now especially in Rwanda, women and girls have took up space and contribute to the development of the country. Many women and girls are standing in top positions in the country, in the parliament as well, whereby the percentage of women is impressive. Also in the rural areas, we have institutions, banks and financial groups that support women in terms of developing them. In Rwanda, the effects of the genocide against the Tutsi have been felt by the general public and women in particular. In its efforts to develop the country, the Rwandan government has put a lot of effort into formulating policies to promote gender equality and to address, in particular, issues affecting women. Jane Mutoni, RTV News.
And on behalf of the entire news production team that made it happen, thank you very much for being with us. My name stays Sam Kalisa.
And my name, Martina Avera.
Have a good night.
And stay safe.
Bye.